All right, like I said, you're welcome to today's. You're welcome to today's lecture. We're going to be starting today with automotive diagnostic system. Automotive diagnostic system. I sent the file on our phones already. So let's open the file. Let's open the file on our phone. Fundamentals of automotive diagnostics. Fundamentals of automotive. No, if you don't even have it, we are just going through it. You understand? If you don't have it, we are going through it. You understand? So you can just no, it's not with his phone. You understand? You understand? So we'll start with fundamentals of automobile diagnostics. Number one, diagnostic principles and root cause analysis. Automobile diagnosis is the process of identifying, analyzing, and troubleshooting vehicle issues, especially within electronic and mechanical system. Especially within electronic and mechanical system. Why that phrase is there is because an automobile system itself comprises of mainly electronic and mechanical system. Though we have the hardwares, we have some other things, we have the softwares, you understand, but mainly for us to be able to pinpoint a problem on a car. The diagnosis system mainly focuses on the electronic system and the mechanical system. It can pick the software issues from through the electronic system, it can pick the hardware issues through the mechanical system. But we mainly focus, it only goes focusedly on, it's focused on the electronic and the mechanical system. Understanding the fundamental principles helps technicians efficiently pinpoint a fault. Number one, when you scan a car, it helps you to cut away wastage. Unlike the initial days that we don't really have anything to scan our cars because to diagnose our cars. You take your car to the mechanic. All they just do is, okay, I think it is this one. Okay, I think it is this one. Before you know, you have spent so much money and it is not still what's happening. So automobile diagnostics takes care of the issue directly. Directly, it takes you there directly with a plus or minus one or plus or minus two error. The truth is when you scan a car and it tells you something, it's your understanding of what it is telling you now that determines the outcome of the solution. Because we've had so many people that have diagnostics machine, they will scan, but they still don't know what this thing is saying. That is why you are here. So that you don't have errors. When you scan and you see it, you know what exactly it's saying. As I'm standing now, there are some things I can tell you on a car. If I see a car shows me P0335, I'll tell you that's a crankshaft position sensor. That car will not start. If I see P0345, I'll know that's a camshaft position. This one will not start. If I see P0300, I'll know it's misfire. You understand? So those are the things you really need to come here for. You are here for this training for. Okay, like for example now, a car is doing as if it is fuel pump, but it is not fuel pump. It's doing as if it is fuel pump, but it is not fuel pump. It's moving normally, but when you try to fire the car, it start drawing back. Everybody said it is fuel pump, everybody said it is fuel pump. But eventually, when you scan the car is telling you camshaft position sensor. I bet you if you just change the camshaft position sensor or you try and trace the wiring and make the wiring of that sensor good, the car will pick up back. But if you keep buying fuel pump, it will not change. It will continue to do like that. The car I brought yesterday for us to do practical is a Sequoia. We worked on it yesterday. It was fuel pump all through they were changing. Fuel pump, fuel pump, fuel pump, fuel pump. But the car was complaining P0345, which is camshaft A and camshaft B. They changed all the camshaft, it did not still work. But from the code I was seeing, I wasn't seeing direct camshaft. I was seeing the wiring issues with the camshaft. So I brought it here yesterday. I wanted us to work on it. We'll come across other ones like that. I'll still bring more. You understand? But when I brought it there yesterday, we arranged the camshaft wires, we arranged everything. We did not even need to change camshafts. We did not even need to buy camshafts. Immediately we arranged the wires, the camshaft cleared, and this car stopped pulling back, started firing normally. The engine became healthy and normal. You understand? So those are some examples, and that is the reason why we are here. Because it's not as if scanning has not been in Nigeria for long. Scanning has been in Nigeria for long. But understanding what the car is telling you for you to use it to repair the car is what matters. Many people have scanners. Many people have diagnostic machine, even big ones, strong ones. You understand? But what is it? Interpretation. They can't interpret what it is telling them. So let's move on. Core principles. Accurate data gathering. A scanning, when scanning, you collect clear information from driver, onboard diagnostics, and visual area. Stepwise troubleshooting using logical sequence, causes and symptoms. Those are the things you check with. Those are the things you check with your scanner. Testing. You can use scan tools to read trouble codes. Then you can use it for verification. You can use it for verification on cars. So that's that. Then let's go about the history and evolution. From here, there's a schematic that says this is what we will do. You saw that schematic? This is where we are now. Yeah, schematic. Typical diagnosis process. It's a process we will do when we come back 2 o'clock. We'll do it in the workshop. You understand? And look at the process. We'll collect symptoms. I'll show you visual inspections of what we are going to do. You see scan tool connection. We read DCT. We interpret the data. We interpret the test components. We identify cause routes. We repair and verify. At least we can do that with a misfiring today. We can do that with a misfiring today on any car that we have here. There's a car we have here. We can do misfiring on that. We'll induce the misfiring. We'll cause the car to misfire. Misfires can be in different ways. You understand? When a plug is not working, the car will misfire. When the nozzle is bad, a car will misfire. When the coil is bad, a car will misfire. When wire of a coil is removed, a car will misfire. And you see all these things I'm counting one by. When the plug is bad, when the nozzle is bad, when the wire is cut, or when the wire is removed, all of them has different codes. They have different trouble codes, but they are all misfiring. Do you understand? They are all misfiring. They all make the car to misfire. But by the time you scan the car, it will tell you so misfire. It will first show you P0300 misfire detected. Then it will now break down the misfire for you. If you see P0301, that means it is cylinder 1, and that means it is plug 1. P0301 means cylinder 1 and it is plug 1. Okay, let me tell you another thing that can happen to that cylinder 1 and plug 1 again. If it is coil, it will give you multiple misfire, but it will now give you P0321. But it is still telling you misfire. But it didn't tell you 301 now. It told you 321. If you don't know, you start changing plugs. You start changing plugs. But it's telling you 321, not 301. 301 is for plug. 321 is for coil. If you hear 302, that means it is for plug number 2. If you hear 322, that means it's for coil number 2. Then if you hear P0401, it is still misfire, but it's for injector number 1. But they are all still misfires. So those are the things we will do as the practical for today, so that you can understand the differences in what you are seeing when you scan a car.
Sorry, you said P022 is
P0 P0322. Don't write them down. But there are plenty. Good morning. No, I'm not saying you are an expert. I want you to assume that all of us do anything. Yes. Not the one, when you the one. Yes. You want to stand from A. I can say some I wish that I can just put them straight to my head. Let me chip in. I understand what you're saying, sir. Let me chip in. The next thing we are going to is history and evolution of auto diagnostics. Do you understand? Uh-huh. So you see what I'm saying here, man? What I'm just saying now are things we will meet by 2 o'clock in the lab physically. Those are the things we will see physically. That's why I said don't write it down. You understand? I'm just trying to explain why there's always confusion in automobile diagnostics. You understand? Everything I'm saying now, that's why I said don't write it down. We'll see it by 2 o'clock in the lab. We're starting history and evolution of auto diagnostics here now. Thank you. You get what I'm saying? Yes. So all those other things I was just telling you. Yes, just to tell you what we will meet by 2 o'clock. You understand? Why there's always confusion and why the training is necessary. Yes, sir. That's why I was just trying to break down where people get confused. Yes. Okay, so let's move on. History and evolution of auto diagnostics. Initially, let's start with the early years. Initially, diagnosing a car was only based on what the mechanic say, what the mechanic feel. The owner will just come, we have take the key, drive it, just go, say, okay, I hear one sound, I heard this sound, I did this, the car is not firing well. Those are intuitions. They're just based on what the mechanic feel. You understand? They're just strictly based on what the mechanic feel. And it involves trial and error. Just try and error. Then it also involves experience. Because some mechanics now are so good that they have seen this particular fault several times. So once they just see it, they will just say this is it. You understand? But mainly trial and error. And it has a lot of disadvantages because you will be losing money before you get the solution. You'll be losing plenty money before you get the solution. Now, from 1950 to 1960, the car manufacturers, they introduced repair manual for cars. From 1960 to 1950, car manufacturers, they introduced repair manuals. So once you buy a car, there will be a manual inside it. Then the mechanics now of then now started using these manuals now to start, circumventing around all the repairs they need to take. You understand? Start circumventing around all the repairs they need to take. That was between 1950 and 1960. Between 1970 and 1980, introduction of electronic fuel injection, and the first between 1970 and 1980 was when they introduced the first fuel injection, and that was the first computer diagnostics. You know why they had to introduce a computer diagnostics later on, but the main reason why they introduced a computer diagnostics was because of emission. Because now you have introduced electronic fuel injector. You understand? Now you have introduced electronic fuel injector. You understand? And there's what we call emission, carbon emission. So you have to control it. So they had to introduce an onboard computer. That was in 1980. In the late 1980s, that was when the OBD1 came on board. OBD1 are onboard diagnostic ports for cars that are between 1996 backwards to 1980. They are OBD1. The ones that are on cars from 1996 till date, they are called OBD2. The ones from 1996 to 1980 backwards, they are called OBD1. Now, let me explain something to you about OBD1 and OBD2. I'll send I'll send I'll send a little special note on the group of that. But let me explain it first. You see, like we said from 1960, 1970 to 1980, electronic fuel injector was introduced, right? And that was the first time they introduced the onboard diagnostics for cars. Fine. Then between 1980, they needed to, in 1980, late 1980s, they know they needed to unify this thing. Every company was doing their own. Every company was doing their own. Funny enough, Toyota did, let's assume, for example, we have Toyota Camry, Toyota Corolla, Toyota Avensis, we have Toyota Venza. In 1970, when they did the first onboard computer, the thing that will scan Camry is different from what will scan Corolla, is different from what will scan Venza, is different from what will scan Avensis, and they are all from the same manufacturer, but their scanning ports were different. That was the first diagnostics port, the first onboard diagnostics that was kept on car. Then between 19 the late 1980s, when the OBD one was introduced, that's the one I said is between 80 to 96. We call it OBD one. When it was introduced, most manufacturers now unified their ports, connection ports. Like you now see Toyota, Corolla, Camry, Avensis, all of them have the same kind of port. Don't forget, I said the earlier ones, a particular company will have different ports for their different models of car. But from 1980 till 1996, a particular company now has one particular port for all the models of their cars. Did you get what I just said now? Let's go again. The, it was in 1970 It was in 1970 to 1980 that they introduced the first electronic fuel injector system to cars. And that was when the first onboard computer was placed on car. And I told you they needed to put the onboard computer to control emission because they've already introduced fuel injector. That was when emission control started, way back 1970. Okay, now moving forward to late 1980, between 1970 to 1980 now. OBD OBD one started from 1980. The 1970 to 1980 was the one that was different connector. They would just make Corolla and put his own connector. They will make Camry, put his own connector. They will make Venza, put his own connector. Different connectors. But you see, between 1980 to 1996, every company now has a single connector. Every company has a single connector for their cars. 1970 to 1980. But it is different between Honda, Toyota, Volkswagen, Mercedes-Benz. There were differences in the models, but at least Toyota, we work for every Toyota. Honda, we work for every Honda. Mercedes-Benz, we work for every Mercedes-Benz between 1980 and 1996. But you not see a Mercedes-Benz scanner will not scan a Toyota. A Toyota scanner will not scan a Honda. To not diagnose the Honda. Now the breakthrough came 1996 when the automobile manufacturer decided to unify every scanner. They unified every scanner. Every diagnostics tools were unified. They made it the same. They converged all of them. So every model now uses OBD2. Every model now uses OBD2. And it's the same across all cars, the same across all models. OBD2 becomes standardized, allowing universal access to detailed vehicle faults by connecting to a scan to a data port. Today, advanced diagnosis involves software, internet connected to, and remote monitoring. Now, OBD2 now has advanced. It is still OBD2 we are using. But now we can even scan online. You can be in America and I'll scan your car from here. Yes, we call it DOIP. There are different protocols now. This one they call it DOIP. Do it online protocol. DOIP. You get to know it. Calm down. You understand? People should not don't feel rushed because you see when I'm talking about I won't jump what we are saying. I won't jump what you have in the module I prepared. You understand? I won't jump it. But I might stay on one and just be pumping everything I know. You get what I'm saying? And that's the best way I feel like I can just give you everything I know. Uh-huh. So you see now we are still on OBD protocols. Mhm. If you check the module now, it said today, advanced diagnostics involved software, internet connected tools, and remote monitoring. This is a scan tool. It's a 2024 launch. This launch S431, what's the name of this stupid one? Pro X. It's a very, very strong tool. Very, very strong tool. It does everything. I can do it in such a way that we'll be scanning a car here and it is under themselves that will be answering me. I'll just connect this to the car, I'll scan this, and I will link under directly. So the scan I'm getting here, they'll be getting it there, and they'll be telling me what to do here. Then there are some cases that when we want to program some keys, when we want to program some brain box, they don't allow us to do them again ourselves. You have to connect them remotely and you pay them in dollars. Your own is just to activate whatever they send. They will copy the raw files, they will do whatever they want to do to it, send the file back to us. Your own is just to copy and paste on the car. Copy and write, yes, on the car. Do you understand? And they are doing that because the truth is, most of these new cars now, you cannot just walk into the market and say the brain box is born, so let's just buy another one and put it. No, it's dangerous. There are so many things that need to be set, especially advanced driver assist, all this park assist, all this pre-collision assist, all these things, they are inside this course. So you know everything. So those are remote monitoring. Now look at the history of scanning from 1950 to 1960. It was just manual and basic electrical testing. I told you the first one was 1950 to 60 when cars come with their manuals, basic manuals, how to service the carburetor, how to change, that was how it started. But before that time, it started with the mechanics intuition, mechanics wisdom, and mechanics experience. That was how diagnostics started. Before then, you go to the mechanic, you say, please help me help me check this car, it's making a sound. The mechanic will drive and come back and say, yes, you change this, you change this, you change this. Eventually they will change 5 things, but out of that 5 things they change, it was only one that was causing the problem. But you, the car owner, you won't know. You have already bought 5, and by the time they change the 5, the problem will solve. We have wasted money for 4 items already. That was what happened way back then. You understand? They work on intuition. They were working on intuition and experience. It was working for some of them, but the truth is that it was causing wastage. It was causing wastage. And funny enough, it wasn't only causing financial wastage, it was causing time wastage. Because some cars get grounded for 3-4 days. Instead of just ordinary scan it, change this and put it back and you go. The car will be there 3-5 days. You understand? It was causing serious wastage. So let's move on. That was the first one, mechanics intuition. Then we went to from mechanics intuition, we went to 1950 to 60, where cars started producing manuals, where manufacturers started producing manuals for their car. Then we now said from 1970 to 1980, electric fuel injection was introduced. Thereby, it couldn't be a guesswork again. They've already introduced electric fuel injector. The World Health Organization said there must not be emission. So you cannot leave it like that. And you cannot be using guesswork that the people are using to, you can't use manual and guesswork to control fuel injection. So there must be an onboard computer. That was when they now introduced an onboard computer. Different cars just carrying different kind of connectors, the one where you get now you go scan the, like that, like that way back. Then by 1970 to 80, that was the fuel injection and the first onboard capital. By 1980, OBD1 was introduced, and the OBD1 stretched till 1960. From 1980 to 1960, and to 19 OBD1 stretched from 1980 to 1996. OBD1 was active from 1980 to 1996. I'll show you OBD1. We still have OBD1 cars around. You understand? In fact, some of these are our cars that have OBD2. Some of them, the company still retained, they still kept their OBD1 socket there. Do you understand? I have OBD1 connectors that we'll see. You understand? We'll bring them, we'll display them tomorrow. I have OBD1 connectors that we'll display tomorrow. So that is OBD1, and it stopped 1996. Okay, now from 1990 onward till today is OBD2. And I told you the difference between OBD1 and OBD2. OBD1 is manufacturer specified. Each company have their own connector. Honda has his own, Mercedes-Benz have their own. But OBD2 is unified now. In fact, the truth is you cannot even produce any car in this world now if you don't put OBD2. The manufacturer association will not allow you to produce that car. The manufacturer association will not allow you to produce that car. So every car has OBD2 for scanning it, to control emission, for the car's functionality, to stop wastage, to stop, so many things. It's so very, very helpful. We'll be seeing it as we're moving on. And that is OBD2. Then I said again about OBD2, I said we have advanced diagnostic systems that involve softwares. Softwares, when it comes to upgrading a car, you don't change the software of a car. As I am now, I can change a 2012 Camry to a 2014 or 2018 Camry. I'm not talking of the body. I'm not talking of upgrading. You understand? I'm not talking of upgrading. There is still upgrading, but this is software upgrade. You get to know a tool that I use. You copy everything inside a Camry, all the files in the Camry's brain box 2018. Oh, don't forget, most of them, their brain box are the same thing. At least for five years difference. Every manufacturer gives 5 years for their cars before they decide to change brain box or change wire. Do you understand? That is why you see a 2010 Corolla and a 2019 Corolla. They have the same engine, the same gear, the same brain box, the same wire. I use the two of them, so I know what I'm saying. They use 2ZR. All of them use the 2ZR engine. 2ZR engine. They use the same gear. They use the same brain box. That butterfly brain box that is black by the side. That's what they use. But you see, the truth is this, bro. The ICs inside the components inside the 2010 brain box, they are not inside the 2010 brain box. They are not as sharp as the ones in the 2019 brain box. All the ICs, all the codings, all the things they coded in that brain box, the one in 2019's own is higher than the one in 2010 in terms of torque, in terms of speed, in terms of pressure, in terms of balance, in terms of everything. The 2019 brain box is more advanced than the 2010 brain box, but they are the same thing. Now, how do I upgrade the brain box? I'll copy this one for the 2012. I'll hide it somewhere. I'll copy the one for the 2019. I'll hide it somewhere. The reason why I'm hiding it in case there's a failure, so that I won't shut the two cars down. You understand? When I hide this one, I hide the software of this one. I will now erase the software of 2010 and copy the software of 2019 on 2010 to accept it. to accept it. But by the time you start the car, you will know this is no more a 2010. So let's move on. Well done, guys. So that's it. That's the software part of OBD2 that I just explained. The software part. Then you see there are parts again that you have to program a gear, you have to program a brain box, you have to program a key. Okay, like there are some cars, all Volkswagens, for example, all Volkswagens from 2010. If I was 2010, all Volkswagen from 2006, you cannot just go and buy their gear and put it and it will work. It won't work. You must program them before they work because they have their own, the gearboxes have their own special ECUs, control unit that control them. So when you buy from any other car as a spare, as in fairly used, even if you buy new, the brain box is still virgin inside it. It has not yet seen the car's brain box, the car's ECM. So you must merge them. So when you buy a gear for most Volkswagen, if I'm not, if it's only Toyotas and Hondas that you can just buy gear and put and it will work. Volkswagen will not answer you, you must program them. Mercedes Benz will not answer you, you must program them. Do you understand? So many cars will not answer you, you must program them. Ford, American, they won't answer you, you must program their gear before they work. Because the ECM of the car itself is not seeing the ECM, the transition control module, is not seeing the transition control module, so you must program. And means of programming, the only way you can program all these cars is through OBD2. So that is that part that says involves software, internet connected tools. I've explained the internet connected tools, like when I'm somewhere and I have to be remote monitoring and all that. You understand? So I think we're all good with that. If I tell us to say something about OBD or diagnostic stages now, I'm sure if you're sleeping, you will talk about it. How onboard diagnostics came to where we are now from 1960, because this is all how it came up. It has been helping us and it has been making our job easier. So let's move on. Let's move on. There's a table there. I call it illustrative timetable. That's what we'll use to we'll explain the tables tomorrow. We'll explain the tables. It's on the group. Are you on the group? Sorry, we posted it on the group. Check it. So we'll just use everything we discussed about is what I summarized on this illustrative timetable. You understand? You see the era, the first place on the era, you see pre 1960, which means before 1960. That is when you have manual check, sound, smell, and touch. You can see that table, right? That table just everything we've explained from 1 to 2. The table explains it. The era is there. The era is telling us pre 1960. We have manual check. Then the key features, that's the diagnostic method, is manual check. The key features for the manual check is maybe when you smell, the sound, the touch, then experience. Then the second under era there is 1960 to 1970. Diagnostic method, that's when you talk of gauge, sensor analysis, they check whether sensor is still magnetic, whether sensor is still, then that's the key features was using repair manuals. That was what we're using then, repair manuals. Now the third era there is 1980 to 2000. That is when we have OBD1, OBD2 system. And the key feature is electronic data, then fault codes. It gives us fault codes. Then today we have computerized and cloud tools. They give us live data and remote access. So I think that takes care of this. So we'll move to number 3. We'll move to number 3. We're still in page 2. We're still in page 2, though we have the whole of today, we have the whole of tomorrow, next tomorrow to exhaust these 2 modules. So we'll just take our time and just move on. System-based diagnostic thinking. I'm coming, but let's leave this. Let's leave this. Let's go to number 4. Number 3 will be in the garage. Did you notice that? Did you read number 3 that it will be in the garage, right? Check number three. Okay, let's treat it. I'll just mention everything that needs to be done in the garage there. Now, let's break down the vehicle into key modules. The major thing your scanner does is to go and query a module or question a module. Your scanner cannot just, it's electronic. It cannot just go, this is a car. It doesn't just go to the car and just stay on the car like this and know what is happening in the car. Do you understand? It doesn't just go. Your scanner cannot just go like this. I just carry this thing and touch this car now and start. No, 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 no. It connects to a car. When it's connected to a car functions with different kind of modules. We have the engine control module. We have the transmission control module. Some cars have the ABS control module. Some cars have the AC control modules. Some they have the body control module, which we call BCM. You understand? Those are the things the scanner goes to query. It goes to ask them question. If it wants to scan the engine, it will go to the brain box, which we call brain box, but it is engine control module or engine control unit, ECU. The scanner will go straight to the brain box and ask the ECM, what is wrong with you? Don't forget, the ECM is a computerized device attached to your car that controls every functioning device on the car. Every device on the car, your injectors, your coils, your fan, your headlights, your steering, everything has a module that controls them. It has a computer that controls them. So when you want to get a fault, the scanner goes to query the module that is faulty. If it's your ABS that is faulty, the scanner goes to query the ABS module. If it's the engine that is doing somehow, the scanner goes to ask the engine control module in question. If it is your gear that is faulty, the scanner goes to ask the transmission control module a question. Now, that's what it means in that number 3. When we say we should break down vehicle into key modules, we have the engine, we have the transmission, we have the brakes, we have the electronic system, we have the body control modules. Those are modules in the car. An issue may originate in a subsystem and affect another. For example, a sensor might be faulty, but the engine will start smoking. Hello? A sensor might be faulty and the engine will start smoking. A sensor might be faulty and the engine will start smoking. You understand? Okay, there are different kind of sensors in the car. Majorly, the sensors that control smoke is called the MAP sensor. MAP absolute pressure sensor. Is the one that people call smoking sensors. It controls pressure of the car. We also have the oxygen sensors. Oxygen sensors are the sensors that detect carbon monoxide in the exhaust of the car. Then it tries to recirculate it back through the EGR for further combustion for the gas to come out without carbon monoxide. You see, this process I just explained now is the process that reduces consumption in car. You understand? Okay, now the oxygen sensor is faulty, but the car is smoking. If you start the car will start smoking. If you're driving the car, you'll be seeing smoke. If you buy 20,000 naira fuel, you see your fuel. You know how seconds used to go. Seconds of it will going car. If you buy full tank, you see your fuel doing like this. You're driving from here to you see your fuel doing like this, and it's carrying black smoke. Yes, any car that's buying black smoke is eating fuel. But I'm talking to you about under Genesis. I'm talking to you about Hyundai Genesis 2010. I said I was going to use that car as a lecture here because I worked on it like 2 weeks ago. This car was just smoking. Prior to the car smoking, I scanned this car. The car told me oxygen sensor, but it was not smoking. So I said, okay, be using it. But please, we will soon buy oxygen sensor. All of a sudden the car started smoking. The car didn't come to me. It went to plenty people. Everybody started changing map sensor, map sensor, map sensor. Really? When the car is smoking, you change the map sensor. You understand? They started changing map sensor. They'll put this map sensor. It won't work. They'll put this one, it won't work. You put this one, it won't work. Eventually, when the car came back to me, I said to up till now, this guy is still talking about his oxygen sensor. So why you people now disturbing yourself? They imported 5 car sensors. I can call that customer to tell us to give. I will tell him to give us that car maybe on Saturday. I can drive down with him here. Let him give us that car. Then I will explain what happened to you guys. Eventually, they imported 5 map sensors. A Hyundai Genesis 2010. The person stays in Kagini, Brick City. They imported 5 map sensors. When I got hold of the car, I collected the sensors. I said, where is that one that was with the car before? They said, this is it. I said, okay, you people should pack the remaining 5 and go. Give me this one. I went to the market. I called for the oxygen sensor. I changed the oxygen sensor. Everything went back to normal. No more smoke. No more anything. And we still use their own smoking sensor. That's the map sensor. Do you understand? So that's what it means that an issue may originate in a subsystem. An issue may originate in a subsystem and it will be affecting another system. See, don't blame anybody that messes up. Are you getting me? Something, don't blame anybody. Oh. It is not their fault. From experience, when a car is smoking, you want to change the map sensor, to change. You understand? They brought the first one, they put it, the thing stopped to like 2 hours, started again. Yes, it's not their fault. But how much have they wasted? That map sensor, they were importing each one for 50,000 naira. They bought 5. I bought just one oxygen sensor. I bought just one oxygen sensor for 25,000 naira. But they had already spent 250 because you imported them, you can't return them back. And the truth is, it's not as if they are not working. All of them are working. But because of wrong diagnostics, because of guess, there was wastage of 250,000 naira. The person that solved the problem only collected 30,000 naira. So let's move on. That's why diagnostics, automobile diagnostics is very important. You will enjoy this course. I'm telling you, by the time you finish, you'll be walking like this. You hear one sound, you just say, please zero that. You just call something in your head. I'm telling you. And it's fun. It's fun. Like me, if I'm driving like this, you're just parking, I'll just say, see this one. P0735. I talk to cars now in code. I just be talking to you. You say, what is this? I say, you don't worry. You understand? Because by the time if I see you next and I say, come on, this car has a P0735 issue, you should be able to know I'm talking of transmission. Because all transmissions start from P07. All misfiring is P03. All injector is P04. You understand? So by the time we finish, you will know everything. Then please, Google is your friend. A very, very good friend. Google, very, very good friend. To show you the videos, to show you everything. But the truth is, if you don't get this training, even Google, you won't understand what you're saying. Do you get? By the time we finish this training, I'm sure our next cohort, place will be filled. Because this is not just a training. It's you. It will become you. Do you understand? So let's move on. So when we get to the garage, we'll analyze not only the affected parts, will analyze if this sensor is faulty, what other symptoms can it be causing the car. Do you understand? We'll do so many things. Like I told you now, that oxygen sensor is making the car smoke. But normally, oxygen sensor is not supposed to make car smoke. But should I explain why it is making the car smoke to you people? Do you want to know why it's making the car smoke? Some oxygen sensor at times, they will break inside. Then their negative will start touching the heart. Their positive will start, the current will start touching each other with heart. So to be confusing other sensors. Don't forget, all sensors are joined together with a 5-volt reference. Do you understand? All sensors in the car, they are joined together with a 5-volt reference. All, no matter the kind of sensor, throttle pedal, camshaft, crankshaft, engine coolant temperature sensor, they are all joined together with one 5-volt reference. They call it, in advanced cars, we call it CAN, Central Area Network. That is the volt that joins all sensors together and makes them to operate together, to synchronize with each other. You understand? So if an oxygen sensor should break inside, then maybe the heart start touching the 5-volt reference. It's confusing the other sensors. It will not even make map sensor to work well. It will make other sensors to work well. It will be interfering in the functionality of other sensors. That's why at times when the oxygen sensor is bad, at times the car will start smoking. Because every other sensor that are supposed to work to make the car to be effective, not to smoke, they are failed, they are not working. Because there's an interference. It's not only oxygen sensors. If socket of a sensor break and it start touching, it interferes with other sensors. It interferes with functionality of other sensors. You understand? So that's that. Let's move ahead. Example, block diagram. This is supposed to be a diagram anyway, but I think we have one here of an engine, of the fuel injector, of the spark plug, of the transmission. This is an engine. This is an engine. Come over, let's check something here. Guys, let's check something here. This is an engine. It's a 4-cylinder engine. The 4-cylinder engine, and this is the crankshaft, right? This is the crankshaft, the one that's under the engine, where the piston are. These are the connecting rods, piston, and these are the rings. So you see, okay, there's what you call a knock sensor that's supposed to be here. I want to show you the things that has to do with diagnostics on the car, because the truth is that if this thing is cracked, if this block is cracked now, sorry, I come like this because of this. If the block is cracked, no computer will know that this block is cracked. Hello, are you getting my point? No computer will know that this block is cracked because there's no wire connected to this to send signal to any module that the computer will query. Do you understand? But there's a knock sensor here. If this block is cracked, this engine will not rest. The engine will not work normal. Do you understand? If there's a crack here, which is a metal part that we cannot detect straight, the computer will not tell you, the system will not tell you there's a crack on. In fact, there's no P code, there's no B code, there's no C code for a cracked engine. But this engine will not rest because of this crack. The vibration will increase, it will not be balanced. That is the work of the knock sensor. This knock sensor will pick the vibration. This knock sensor will pick the imbalance and be reporting knock sensor. The main code for a faulty knock sensor is P0325. Google it. When you see P0325, change the knock sensor. But when you see P0326, P0327, P0328, P0329, between 5 and 9. 5 is the fault of the knock sensor, it is faulty. Between 5 and 9, it is not the fault of the knock sensor. The knock sensor is telling you something. That is where we are going to in auto diagnostics. Did you guys just get what I explained now? Did you just get me now? If this piston is shaking anyhow now, maybe the rings are bad. There is no wire connected to rings that will tell the computer that the rings are bad. But there's a knock sensor here. It must be giving signal. This engine will not be balanced as long as the rings are bad, or maybe there's a breakage, or maybe there's something wrong with the engine. The engine can never be stable. There will be little vibration. The vibration, even you car owner, mechanic might not detect, but the knock sensor will detect it. Do you know how a knock sensor functions? Don't forget, knock sensors, they have only one wire. They take their out from the vibration of the engine. So when the vibration, there's a limit. Every engine should vibrate, which is normal. Once is this less than that limit or is more than that limit, the um the knock sensor give you a report. And if the knock sensor is giving you a report P0325, let your mind be addressed. You get what I'm saying? Let your mind be addressed. P0325 is direct fault. All cars, you know the problem now is that, like we were saying, all the cars now they are unified. All the cars now they are unified. All cars, all their codes now are the same because of OBD2. So anything this one tell you is the same thing Honda will tell you. The same thing Benz will tell you. What's that? You can see. You can see. P0325. Google it. Knock sensors circuit malfunction. And how many circuit knock sensor? Okay, maybe only one wire. So once you see that, that means this knock sensor is bad. Check P0326. So P0325. P0325. Two. P0325 is knock sensor. Now P0326. Sure you can see what? Sure you can see what? Now look at what 326 is saying. 366 is saying another different thing. This one is telling you there's a problem somewhere. It is not the knock sensor itself. Do you understand? It's not the knock sensor alone. Do you understand? Now check P0327. Give him, let him check P0327. So that is what I'm trying to explain to you. So you can see, what did you say? Knock sensor circuit low input. Knock sensor circuit low input. Showing is different from all the things you have been showing again, but so now check P0328. And Mr. Dejo, you see why I said we will take a lot of time. So you see what? The P0327 said low input. P0328 said high input. You can see there are two different things. All these things now, they are the same knock sensor. You understand what I'm trying to say? They are the same knock sensor. Just the way I was trying to explain misfiring to you for that time. Misfiring can come in 10 different ways. But if you're not vast, if you're not good with automobile diagnostics, you think misfiring is just misfiring, just changing plug. Don't change plug again. What is this thing saying? Analyze it, scan it, sit down, analyze it, bring out the solution, go for it straight.
So when, for example, when it's saying low input,
high input, low input, high input, we'll get there. You understand? We'll do that one. Keep it. Don't forget. Write knock sensor down, because this is the only one I use to explain. It's not only this one. I still use the misfire to explain different code lines to you. You see, but in this module, I will still break down each code. Like when you see P0407, I'll tell you what P is, I'll tell you what 0 is, I'll tell you what 4 is, I'll tell you what 0 is, I'll tell you what 7 is. I'll break it down. Our last set of people, those ones from Open University, that was where I even started with them. I purposely want to go this deep because this is my own personal class now. You understand? So that is how we go about it. So that's that. Just an example of how P032
no.
329. Check 329. So we can go back. At least we can see how a sensor can pick a fault from.
So intermittent. Intermittent.
Okay, knock sensor circuit intermittent.
Something.
Something is disturbing it, sha. Wow, so that's that. So where are we now? Okay, approach. Now, example I've shown engine. We'll see fuel injector. That's component. We'll see fuel injector later in the garage. We'll see spark plug. We'll see spark plug in the garage. Then we'll see some subsystems too. Do you understand? Then there's one other thing I want us to actually talk about briefly. Safety in the garage should not be underrated. Please, in anything you're doing, any car that is not safe, don't go near it. Any car that is not well parked, that is not well jacked, that is not well positioned, is risky. Then when you are using a scan tool, another safety thing that needs to be done. When you are using a scan tool, don't allow them to change battery while your scan tool is connected to the system, to the car. It's risky because you don't know the upsurge that the car has. You don't know whether the car has electrical issues. That once you just put battery and the battery starts sparking, to just blow your scan tool. I've bought a scan tool before for close to 800,000 naira and I didn't use it more than 3 times. Before one of my staff we took it out on a journey and they blew it. Do you understand? So you should be very, very careful when it comes to that. Your work environment should be safe, well ventilated area to avoid exposure to exhaust gas, personal protection, equipment safety, vehicle safety, fire safety, electrical safety. So we have a table there to take care of that safety part. We have finished our module 1. This is the end of module 1. So when we come back, 12 o'clock is supposed to be our break, right? So what we will do, I think we should give ourselves 11:30 to 12:30. We can go for break now. So that we just resume 12:30 in the garage, in the workshop. I think that's better. How was the class? So thank you. I'll see you guys in the workshop for 12:30.
It was now showing history,
Okay.
which it was the former engine, the one made it to not got knocked. So that was what it was now showing history. And so we now okay that okay, the engine, the mechanic, everybody now say okay, this car is fine. It's okay. So I now drove it down to Auchi
Okay.
without
And nothing happened.
the car was moving,
It was
the
perfect.
engine was perfect.
Okay.
But that smoke aspect of it that you just mentioned
It
now.
didn't stop.
So that was so we now okay, like this engine we just changed it so that there will be no issue about it. So then when we now deliver the car, we got there, they were like the engine you bought is no good, that the engine is smoking. And I said, this car, this engine is good. Maybe the smoke could be
Something else. Because the engine is not good. It won't take me from Abuja to Auchi.
So we try explaining.
It's a lie.
Like as I'm talking to you now, I'm supposed to go and even bring the car tomorrow now. Of which me I told him, because they got a mechanic that is not experienced. Let me
Okay.
just put it that way. That told them the engine is bad, the engine is smoking, maybe it's not. I now say no, the person that fixed this car is not an ordinary person. So the person that knew that this is a specialist on so they're like the engine is bad, it's smoking and all that. I say okay, we're going to bring it up. It's me and him. So we will discuss that. I had to even tell him, I say maybe probably his oxygen sensor
Yes.
That is the
I'm
issue.
telling
They are
you.
thinking
Or
all
the
the
map sensor. You see all those big engines, but oxygen sensor do a lot to them.
so I'm even supposed to go travel like yesterday to go and bring the car.
Okay.
So that we'll now know, okay, this is the issue. So I will solve it and return it back to them.
So when do you hope to go? When do you hope to go?
We were even coming with the car on Saturday to Abuja.
Okay. This coming Saturday?
This last Saturday.
Okay, so where is it now?
So the car is located at the whatever. What's it called? The where the camber.
Caliber.
No, it's not the caliper. I think
No, it should be it's a camber.
it's the camber.
Camber, okay.
So
Okay.
you know it's fiber.
I
So the
know.
camber got
It's
broken.
aluminium.
Aluminum. So we have to just pack it somewhere. So they've gotten the part now. It's for me to go there, get a mechanic to just
Well,
fix
fix
it
it.
and bring it back to Abuja.
Okay.
Now, we had two issues that same Saturday with two cars. You were talking about knock sensor now.
Yes.
The same issue, I will show you the engine now. The knock sensor was giving issue because the sound it was giving issue. So I was driving, I noticed I was just driving it like calmly, gently, so that
Gently.
we get to Abuja. My boss was like, I'm not fast enough. I wants to drive. When he now entered the car, that's how the engine busted.
Which car is that?
Sandra.
Okay, okay.
So the engine busted.
3UR.
Yes.
V8.
Yes. So you know, the engine busted, and I'm talking to you now. So I don't know, maybe it's because of we didn't take cognizance of the noise or what. Or now that the engine has busted now, they are saying it's going to change another engine, of which we know that the engine too is already gone.
No, the truth of the matter is
The engine is
you know
gone.
the sound of the engine
Yeah.
was
Yes.
actually showing.
You know what really happened was that,
Yeah.
you see this kind of engines, but let's say you are continuing driving it the way you were driving it. Don't be surprised to carry you to Abuja.
Yeah, that was what I
Then
was
you now
driving.
change.
Yes.
Once you hammer it about, it will find way for
I
itself.
told you from Auchi to Okene.
Imagine.
The reason why we reason why we stopped was because of the car that
He was carrying,
yes,
yes.
that the leg pulled.
Yes.
So we were like, how do we do it? The place we were was not a safe area. I had to get a towing van to tow it back,
It's okay.
let it be safe there. Before, my boss was like, I was driving 60. Say that I'm not moving.
But
I
you
said,
have a reason.
me, I know I'm driving this car. You want to
Yeah.
drive. When he entered, I was not driving 120, 140. We didn't even get to Lokoja. It was that same Okene that he busted.
Yeah.
So
But that's fine.
So well, when you just said that, I was telling you that this is what happened to us.
Let's get the car down. Let's get that BM down.
I think the challenge now, I'm sorry to say, me, I have a programming knowledge.
Okay.
When you were saying transferring file,
Yeah.
I heard you. Yeah.
you know, the truth of the matter is, I decided to say, I want to know more about diagnostics. One of the lacuna we have here in this town, Abuja, is lack of knowledge.
I'm telling you.
Lack of
Telling you.
I'm a trained engineer from, at least as a polytechnic student. I'm a computer specialist. I'm a computer engineer. You know, I discovered one thing about this so-called automobile. The trying and error is so loud.
Very high. Especially in
And
Abuja.
it's obvious. It makes people to spend money they are not supposed to spend. And apart from that, I'm a car dealer. At least I have like 15 years experience in the car dealing with cars. I noticed that those days when I buy cars, especially Toyota Corolla, I discovered that at a point I was changing brain boss, not knowing that this brain boss is caused by the ABS. This ABS sensor was bad. So the communication between the ABS and the gearbox
Was not
module
there.
was not there.
It's
So
so select last gear.
yeah, so the car was now moving with force.
Yes.
So at that point, we discovered that one gear was not jerking.
Yes, now.
So we'll end up changing another brain box. And if care is not taken, the person that will buy that car
After 6-7 months,
it will persist to buy
you take
another
another
brain
brain
box.
box until you do the root cause.
And another thing I discover is that there is this so-called, they say, gearbox electrician. I did a finding. There's nothing
There's
like
nothing like
gearbox.
that, sir.
What they were doing is that they look at the force which the gear or the current that is entering the gear. If it's not enough, the gear will not pull the car
Yes, now.
the way it ought to.
To pull.
So what they just do, they do
They
a
find
little
current
trace
from the
Yes.
Start from the fuse box and just jump to the current on. That's all.
And that is what they were doing.
And they were not solving this. They were not solving the problem. They will only make sure your car is pulling.
Yes. Then another thing I now discover as a BMW programmer, online programmer, I discovered that if you don't understand diagnosis of a car, there is a limit you can go or you cannot go when it comes to programming.
I'm telling you.
Because you normally, if you want to program a car, you're supposed to do what? Analyze the car.
First, at least you must even get a little history of what you are
And
programming.
now you don't even understand even the history. So how will you know that somebody else
Has done something, or they
in
have
the
done
car?
something. Okay, like you said you program BM, no?
Yes.
Imagine they have deleted all keys
Yes.
on a BM, then you don't know anything. You just go and be suffering.
So how will you come? So that's why I decided to say, even before I proceed further, I should be able to know what they call
I'm telling you.
diagnosis.
Then you're welcome, bro. And to God, you guys are in good hands because me, I'm this kind of person that at times I will talk. We might take only one sentence like this, God, and I will forget myself inside that sentence and just be talking.
Yeah.
You understand? But that's the best way. That's the best way I teach my student. That's the best way I teach everybody. So guys, let's go. So now this our practical session and we are at the garage now. This is auto clinic. This is auto clinic center and we are here now. The theory was in the morning, but we're continuing the practical this afternoon now. Like we said, 2 hours theory in the morning, 2 hours practical in the afternoon. So we are here now. And our focus is going to be on this particular car, um, a Corolla, a Corolla 2019, 2018, 2019. We are going to be inducing some fault on this. We are going to be inducing some fault on this car. This is the VCI. This is the VCI that is to be connected to the car, and this is the scan tool itself. So now we are all ready, right? So let's start. Please, can you help me connect this to the OBD port? And don't forget, this is a 2019 car. So we said the OBD ports are universal now. Please look at the female. This is the female. And the male. Every car we always have their male on it. We might not be able to bring it out for you to see, but let me see if I can show you. Okay, this is an OBD port. This is an OBD port. This particular white port you are seeing under here is an OBD port, and this is the female. So it goes inside it directly like this. Once it goes, there's a connection. You can hear the click sound, and there's a connection here. There's a light here now. That means the car is ready to be scanned. Can you switch on the ignition for me? Yes, the ignition of the car is up now, and the scan tool cannot be connected to a car. It cannot get any information from a car if the ignition of the car is not on. Start the car, please. Fine, the car is started now. The VCI is connected. Let's go back to the engine. This is actually connected using a Bluetooth. This particular scan tool uses a Bluetooth. This particular scan tool uses a Bluetooth. Then now let's scan. You can see the Bluetooth is already connected. The engine is running now. It's not in all situations the engine has to be running before you scan a car. There are some cars that will not even start, but you are still required to scan it. So ordinary ignition can just do your diagnostics for you. When there's ignition on the car, once you switch on the ignition. Now let's diagnose this car. Look at this. It's going just now. It's going like that. Reading the VIN of the car. Is decoding the VIN of the car now. Now it has seen the VIN, it has seen the car, and it's saying 2019 Toyota Corolla. model 2ZRFE. That is the name of this engine, 2ZRFE. There's always something like this particular present tool now is not on internet, but I need to put it on net so that in case we need to go remote, like we discussed in our earlier lecture, because there are some things you need to have to go remote for. Now it is on the net. If you notice, I've connected my hotspot now, and you can see the hotspot there now. Fine. The truth is, this will give us a better diagnostics when you're on the net, because it will relate its fault to other fault that is on the database of Toyota to give you a final and a final report. Yes, fine. So this is this. So let's scan this car now. Scanning this car now. Automatic search. You don't care about the time it takes you to diagnose the car, because the outcome will be more preferable than the wastage and the time that will be wasted without scanning it. This car has no smart key, so we go without smart key. It has identified the car. If you check now, the VIN number here is 7640. That's what is ending it. Now let's go to the car and check the VIN number. The reason why I'm telling you to do this, you can see the VIN number from this car now. The last one is 7640, which corresponds directly with our own report 7640. The reason why I'm showing this is because there are some cars that once you change the brain box, the VIN number on the brain box differs from the VIN number on the body of the car. Okay, let me make you understand something. Most most American cars will not allow you to carry a VIN number of another car and operate on their own car. That is why some programming are very, very difficult to program. If you want to program a Japanese car under Toyota, Nissan, you just program direct. You don't need anything to do with the VIN numbers. But you see, when it comes to cars like Ford, when it comes to cars like GMC, like when it comes to cars like GM, most American cars, most German cars, you must replace the former VIN number, the VIN number of the vehicle. You must you must replace it and write it on the new ECM before the car can receive it. Are you getting my point? Why we see different VIN numbers on the brain box when you scan of other Japanese cars? Because they don't actually need you to copy another VIN number to use their own personal VIN number to operate. They can operate with other VIN numbers. But most American cars, most German cars, once you are programming a new brain box, it will demand you put the VIN number of the present car you want to use the brain box for. The reason for this is because most of American cars, they have different other devices and different other different parts. So by the time you program a new brain box, it will ask for the VIN number and record the VIN number of the new car onto the new brain box you are putting, so that every other component associated with that VIN can still work on this particular car that you are using the new brain box for. So that is that. Let's move ahead from here. So now we have the VIN that's giving us all the information needed. You can see it's telling us the engine type, that is 2ZRFE. It's telling us the year 2019, the smart key, without smart key, cylinder, 4 cylinder. These are all the information needed on the car that has been gotten. So press OK and we'll continue. Sorry. Now we have different options it has given us. The first one is health report. The second one is system selection. The third one is service function. The fourth one is system scan. ADAS calibration. We will get there. ADAS means Advanced Driver Assist System. That is when you talk about the park assist, drive assist, because there are some cars that can park themselves. There are some cars that once you're on the convoy, you don't need to do anything. Just set the drive assist. It will be following the car in front of it. You won't press brake. You won't press turn. You won't press anything. You only hold your steering firm. We call them advanced drivers assist system. They help the driver to know when to park, where to park, how to park. At times, a driver might be driving and is not seeing his back. Those are 0 points that you cannot see. But with the ADAS, new model cars, they have ADAS. We call them ADAS, Advanced Drivers Assist System. With that ADAS, the driver will be able to see what is by his side with the help of video cameras around, with the help of parking assist sensors, with the help of radar sensors. This car has a radar sensor. This is a radar sensor for a Toyota. We have other parking assist device, or maybe a car is trying to jam you, it will be shouting for you inside. Those are ADAS system, and we call them ADAS system. So this is the calibration. Then we have special functions. Special functions deals with maybe vehicle control history, programming of cars and all that. So now let's go into the system. Let's go to scanning proper. Now there are two types of scanning. We can decide to scan the health report of the car. The health report will scan everything, every module on the car. Every module, that's what the health report will do. You can see it has started 4%. It will read everything. You can see it. EOBD, one fault, is going. Radar, no fault. Anti-brake system, no fault. Electronic motor power system, no fault. You can see it's reading everything. That is the health system. Your pre-collision system, no fault. Occupation detection, occupant detection, no fault. Is reading everything. This is all the control module. Look, look at control module. Ajekimoto did. All the control module on the car. That's what the health system will read. You understand? Let's finish this health system. You can see everything. Some of the things there is saying not equipped, like sliding roof. The car does not have sliding roof. That's why it's telling us not equipped. The mobilizer system is okay. It is on 92% now, which is now 100% now. Now the fault here, the first fault here is telling us oxygen sensor. It said OBD, oxygen sensor reach to lane bank 1 sensor 2. Now look at what the engine is telling us. Engine is telling us about oxygen sensor reach to lane bank 1 sensor 2. Navigation